What's up, Otaku fam? We are back with more reactions here for the channel with something new, casually explained. Listen, I haven't seen a casually explained video in many a years, but this did pop up on our homepage, and I was looking for videos, which seems to fit for us because it is
We're
Gen
millennials.
Z versus Millennials. We are Millennials, so I'm interested to see what he's got to say
And I
about
don't
it.
think I've ever heard of this person, so.
I think she'll enjoy it, and if she does, we'll do more. There's definitely plenty of his videos to watch. So be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and let us know which of his videos we should react to if you guys want more of him here on the channel. And check out the Patreon link down below for full and cut reactions, TV shows, animes, and movies. Let's hop on in.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. When someone says they were born in the year 2002, I automatically think, damn, this is the oldest looking 6-year-old I've ever seen. Well, I won't be using that one when they ask me about the island. I was born in 1996, making me just barely a millennial, meaning I'm somewhat of an expert on my older cohort who thinks doggo, pupper, adulting, and having an actual wedding to a real person they love is still a thing, while also being able to tell Gen Z that making fun of us for skinny jeans doesn't do anything. We inherited housing prices and 3 financial crises from the baby boomers. You will not even remotely psychologically affect us.
Correct.
You will not even remotely psychologically affect most of us. The first thing we have to do is obviously define the generations, which in the textbook is 1981 to 1996 for millennials and 1997 to 2012 for Gen Z. Problem is it can be hard to tell when you're kinda in the middle, because to the outside observer, Gen Z might look a lot older than they are on account of all the Botox and filler, whereas millennials look a lot younger than they are on account of all the Botox and filler. Meaning
It is funny. We've had a conversation with some of our friends at our gym, because everybody that we interact with at the gym are roughly around our age, maybe a couple years younger, maybe a couple years older, but they're all roughly around the same age. But we did have that conversation where, yeah, the younger generation from our younger generation look way older than they actually are. And it's always surprising when you hear that. You're like, oh, I thought you were 20 something and you're not. And that's just...
I know how it is too, still with work and every job I've ever been to. Like when they ask how old I am, I'm like, oh, I'm 32. And they're like,
and like you said before, like the older generation from us look at us and think that we look younger than we actually are, because I still get mistaken for like younger 20s, and I'm like, no, I'm 30. Like, and they're like, oh, and it's like, yeah, no, I just it's just weird how that works. But
you have to look at behavioral cues to tell the difference. Because us millennials are trying so hard to cling on to our youth, we're in fact only differentiable from Gen Z by 3 things: ankle socks, hairlines, and when a DJ says, put your hands up, we do it with an open palm, whereas Gen Z does it with a closed palm. Gen Z does this because you automatically close your hand when you associate with dropping down to the floor, whereas millennials raise an open palm because we don't think Black Lives Matter. While it might sound like I'm here representing my fellow millennials, I did only squeak in there by 1 year, and there are some millennialisms that are too ancient even for me. Take, for example, answering the phone.
Oh, I don't do that.
Why?
Yeah, I don't
Similarly,
answer the phone.
Gen X still texts like they have an old school brick phone, meaning all of their messages are like, yo, bring drinks, see you at 5, sunglasses emoji. Which is at least chill and straight to the point. Millennials, in contrast, have all evolved the 2-thumb texting technique, meaning they're able to send you a single paragraph-long text like it's an email that you avoid opening at all costs until you really, really have to respond.
Yeah.
Gen Z, on the other hand, sends multiple messages to indicate punctuation or a different thought, usually ending it with a skull emoji to tell you they've died and will no longer be texting you back. If you're a smug elder millennial who's like, why does my younger sibling send 4 messages back to back when they could have just typed it in 1 message? That shit is so annoying. First of all, if you're annoyed because you have your phone on vibrate when I'm texting you, you can stick it up your ass. Second, if you looked at literacy statistics recently, Gen Z doesn't know how to read, so they don't know how to punctuate in the first place. And lastly, multiple messages is clearly the superior form of texting, anyone except your boss, because it allows you to better punctuate your rap battles with the homies. If you think about it, line breaks are literally poetry. When it comes to socializing and how you like to have a good time, millennials and Gen X are notorious alcoholics, but Gen X also does cocaine and millennials instead do weed. Gen X are alcoholics on cocaine because it was the rock and roll culture of the time, whereas millennials are alcoholics and smoke weed because they all have anxiety and need to self-medicate in order to socialize. Gen Z, on the other hand, was very gently parented, don't even pretend they'll ever own a home, and never socialize publicly, so they just take Tren, Zins, and Goon for dopamine. One thing that Gen Z clearly outdid the millennials on is their slang, because just like high school, millennials also blundered the language on more than one occasion, coining such terrible turns of phrase as doggo, adulting, epic win, on fleek, it's lit fam,
God.
swag.
Do y'all remember On Fleek?
Yes.
Wow. I can't even remember the last time I heard that.
Yep.
Man. All the rest of these, though, yeah.
Yep.
No. Only like... I don't hear doggo that much anymore. Adulting is, yes, very much still used within our age group. Not really epic win on Fleek. It's lit, kinda. That's really because of songs, though. That's really that only comes up when you're reciting lyrics, because that's still used in songs that we like to listen to now. So, because classic swag, I don't think swag ever really goes away. It just depends on how you use
that's
it.
kind of been a thing.
And I can't remember the last time I saw it. I can't even. But man, these do bring back memories.
I can't even. I did a thing, and calling any type of knowledge hacks. In contrast, Gen Z slang had a stranglehold on our broader vocabularies right away. For example, here's some Gen Z slang you hear all the time, which I will now translate in case it's not clocking to you.
Please do.
Let him cook.
heard
He's
that
in the
one, yeah.
process of doing something well that isn't cooking, so don't interrupt him.
Right.
She ate. She looked good or did something well that isn't eating.
Yep.
Riz. Charismatically flirting.
Yep.
Crash out. Mental breakdown.
Uh-huh.
Shit slaps. It's really good. Fire. It's really good.
Yep.
Hits different.
It's really good.
Bussin'. It's really,
good.
Gas. It's really,
Really
good.
good.
No cap.
Man, I remember busting in gas. That was still popping up when I was in high school, so I don't really know how much of that is Gen Z slang. Maybe they just adopted it more than we did, but I remember that being...
I don't remember any of those terms when I was...
I do, and no cap. I remember all of that, so...
I remember
know,
those
that's
as getting older, but I don't remember that
Yeah.
in school. I remember that.
For real? On God? For real?
I remember on
True?
God.
For real?
Remember
Facts?
true, yeah,
For
facts.
real? Deadass? For
I
real?
remember all that, yeah.
For real, for real.
I
For
know
real.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that
yeah.
older millennials have a terrible take on is that Gen Z has bad fashion. Gen Z has great fashion, especially compared to us millennials at the same age. Besides, when most millennials were teenagers, social media hadn't been invented yet, so instead of growing up trying to imitate the
Listen.
most liked Instagram trend, we had peace, contentment, and mixed and matched our clothing like a hand-me-down buffet exactly to our own taste.
Yeah,
We
right.
didn't dress to impress, we
No.
dressed
We
to
did.
express.
Yes.
Our deep cultural anxiety and fear of bothering our parents in case the baby boomers got mad at us, which they pretty much always were.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but this was peak millennial fashion. To prove that
was.
Gen Z has better fashion than millennials, in today's social media, it's common for an influencer to be chatting.
Worst part is they didn't even include the real deal high peak millennial fashion for women, which was wearing dresses over jeans.
At least we were not millennials that claim that millennial fashion is better. I know we don't. Like, fashion does not exist to me now, okay? I dress casually nice. And that's as much fashion as you're getting out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to everybody. Whenever we go to like our nerdcore cons and I see people of the younger generation and they're dressed, I'm like, yeah, y'all can dress. Good for you. I'm not doing it. I can't. I refuse.
I'm tired.
I just want to exist in
Have
peace.
girls on the street like, yo, you're so pretty, can I get your number? And she's like, I'm 16. And the guy's like, oh my god, you can't be 16. What? I gotta get out of here, chat. Back in my day, you'd already know they were 16 because we were all ugly. Furthermore, Gen Alpha now thinks that
Wasn't expecting that.
I said you're gonna love his humor. That was good. That was good. You would know because we were all ugly.
All of
True
us as
statements.
16-year-olds do not look like the 16-year-olds now, and I don't understand.
No, that's like the Odd Ones Out video we watched way, way, way back when he was talking about his school experience. He was like, every 7th grader thinks they're cool. Well, let me tell you, you're not cool. Nobody thinks you're cool. Nobody's cool at all. Everything's fine. You're all lame. Everything sucks. Like...
God, that's
you already know they were 16 because we were all ugly. Furthermore, Gen Alpha now thinks that point-and-shoot digital cameras give a cool vintage look, meaning guess what? Low-rise, bedazzled jeans are getting thrifted, and American Apparel hoodies are right around the corner. We are so back, baby. At the end of the day, ask most millennials, and we sort of feel we grew up in the best era to be kids, but the worst era to be adults. Gen Z, on the other hand, just thinks, wait, things were actually good? As an example, when someone says make America great again, Gen Z thinks you can't make something great again if it was always trash. But baby boomers think, I remember when me and Steve worked for Chrysler and Detroit was the richest city in the whole world. I bought a house for me, my wife, and my 8 brothers and sisters back when we were 23. But millennials hear make America great again and think, remember the first 150 Pokemon, the Sega Genesis, Rock Band, growing up without a cell phone, when you made YouTube videos just for fun, getting free malware on LimeWire, using an iPod Touch to pretend to drink beer? How people would say, too soon. After you made a 9/11 joke, remember how badly we fucked up our teenage years, but it didn't matter because we had no social media? Remember smog? As I was reading this, I got nostalgic and remembered some more things, so I redid the video so I could keep going.
Okay.
Remember Del Toro Quest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ordering things from the Scholastic.
Oh,
Yes!
yeah,
Bermuda
sir.
Triangle.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Remember burning a CD?
Yeah.
Remember
Yes.
CD drives in the first place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember when DLC was just another game called an expansion pack?
Yep.
Yep.
Remember rewinding a VHS before you returned it to Blockbuster?
Yes.
I do.
I remember.
Me too.
Anyway, us millennials are going to go stare at
Damn.
the Winamp visualizer for a while. You guys can talk
now I'm going
amongst
to cry for a
yourselves.
little bit.
Now, unlike me and most of the people I know who can't remember anything, nearly everything that you've done online is remembered forever somewhere, which is why you should consider today's sponsor, Incogni. As we both know, your online activity is not just stored forever between the two of us in our OnlyFans DMs, but also by data brokers who resell your information online.
I was going to
whoever
skip it,
wants
but
to
I
get
think
their
he's going to
grubby
make
little
funny
hands on it.
sponsor ads. So
You
I'll
might have
let it
heard the
rock.
saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. This wasn't the case for LimeWire, that was just piracy, but nowadays it's pretty much true. When you submit your data online to a website or they ask to track your information in exchange for a cookie that they never seem to deliver, that data is often getting stored and resold to third parties who might want to scam, spam, or God forbid call you on the phone. Incogni acts on your
I
behalf
won't
to
answer, so it's
request that
fine.
these
They can
large
call all
brokers
they
remove
want.
your data, which they're obligated to do upon request, but rely upon no one actually doing that because it would be really annoying and take ages. Here's my running dashboard since I've started using it, and you can see it saved me over 100 hours. My only complaint is I'm not sure who Melissa is. They could have sent me a picture first. Additionally, with their new custom removals plan, if you found your personal information on websites like whitepages.com or online databases you'd rather it not be in, you're able to submit a URL to the Incogni team who will work to remove your personal information from eligible sites.
Nice.
Keep in mind, if you made a cringe Reddit post years ago or robbed a bank, it doesn't work on that. You have to live with your mistakes on that one. If you'd like to give Incogni a try, use the code CASUALLY at the link in the description and save 60% off an annual plan.
He really did get me with that comment.
Because
I wasn't ready for it.
I can't say too much about the Gen Z stuff, but damn near everything about millennials was spot on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean that's.
Yeah.
I think I saw a video on TikTok talking about how millennials are just trying to reclaim our childhood, which is why we're all like not the textbook version of what an adult is, but we're also not as cringe and childish as kids actually are. So we're that weird middle ground. We just stay that way forever. That's why even the oldest millennials still act like that.
Yeah.
The same way that the youngest millennials act.
Yeah.
We all
We're
act
just
the
trying to enjoy
exact
life.
same.
Yeah. We're chasing what we used to have.
Yeah, and trying to survive. I think how he described
I like that, trying to survive.
what we're trying to like you said, like we're probably never going to own a house.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that's some millennials can break out of that and get that, but Gen Z has absolutely no hope about that. And then the whole "Make America Great Again." It's like, yeah, we think "Make America Great," and we think of our childhood immediately, even though that really has nothing to do with it. That's just what we think of, and Gen Z
Yeah.
has nothing to compare it to. So that stuff all makes sense, and I do agree with those.
That is actually very valid with the "Make America Great Again" part, because God, I remember when I was a kid, you were allowed to go play outside till the sun went down, go home. Granted, it wasn't anything
Yeah, when
like...
getting grounded actually hurt because you couldn't go outside.
you couldn't go do anything.
There's no grounding anybody. Like my cousin has 2 kids who are just now becoming teenagers, so they are the literally iPad kids, and nothing. There's no punishing them because they stay in the house. Sure, they've got access to fucking everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
They
And you
need to go.
can't get rid of everything because then you'd actually have to be a parent. So
That's when you go sit in the corner.
and go to
Take a
sleep.
nap. But yeah, just little things like that, like going outside to play, not hanging out with friends, having sleepovers, because we've had conversations about that too.
Yep.
About some people just won't get to experience that because the world is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Oh my god, the book fair, yes.
The Scholastic Book Fair
Yes.
that was the shit right
Yeah.
there.
Just
Hell
little
yeah.
things, yeah. And it is kind of nice. Like while I do doom scroll, it was a simpler time when the first social media thing was just playing around on MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Or even old school Tumblr and stuff.
Yeah.
Tumblr,
It definitely all
Divine
started with
Art.
MySpace for our generation.
Yeah.
That's what eventually spread out into everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That was the downfall of our society. We just didn't know it at the time.
MySpace was.
This was funny. I've missed his videos. It's like I said, it's been years since I've watched a Casually Explained video. I was surprised to see this pop up. But if you enjoyed it, and if you guys have more suggestions, then throw them down in the comments, and we'll start adding him to the roster too.
I'm proud to.
He got you tickled.
Yeah.
You weren't ready for the
I
one comment.
wasn't, because we've had conversations about that before.
Well, thank you guys for the
Millennial
continued
forever.
support. We will see you for the next video. Bye.